Hello everyone, this is Vicki Ashard from Nature's Best. Thank you for joining me today. This is the third week of making Christmas tags for our Christmas bags. This will give us 15 tags altogether, and we're making 5 tags each time we meet, so we'll end up with 25 of them, just in time for your Christmas wrapping. So let's get started. So this is the tag that I'm going to make today for us. You could make this with markers. You can make this with colored pencils, anything you have in your craft room. I did make it with stamping. We're going to use stamping today, and also with watercolor. Okay? Alright, so let's get some paper. I'm going to leave it right here so we can always see it when I work. Okay, now I only have scraps in my craft room that we're going to be using today. Okay, and we're going to be using a punch. Okay, and I'll show you that in a minute. Alright, let's get our stamp ready. We're using Memento ink. It's called Rich Cocoa. I'm going to be using this dark color for our first piece of paper. And this is the rubber stamp that I'm going to be using. It's from Stampabilities. I was going to say Stampendous, but it's called Stampabilities. And I love the wood grain look on that. So with these bigger stamps, what I do is I put the pad on, because there's a large area to cover. Okay, and let's stamp that on our paper. We want the look of wood grain. I stamp it a little off of the paper so that it doesn't have a line. And here I'm not too worried about that line there. Okay, and let's do some more. Okay, stamp it right here, just on this part, and a little beyond that line, and then on this side. We're going to cover the whole area because it's a pretty big piece of paper there. And just go a little beyond this place here where we stamped. And I'm not worried about this part right here, because when we go to make our tag, what I do is I cover that up pretty much with the vine and the branches, so that doesn't bother me. I always use these baby wipes in the craft room. They come in really handy. I love them. My daughter picks them up for me at Costco. They're the ones from Costco. Okay, so I'm going to dry that a bit, and let's take our punch. This is let's see, I got this at Michael's, and it's called Fiskars, and it's a pretty big one. Alright, okay, there we are. Okay, and the next thing we want to do is we actually want to use that stamp again, or that punch rather. And I'm going to punch a back one for that, because this paper is a little thin. So if you use thinner paper, you want to make it a little heavier. The whole thing a little heavier. Just makes a better tag. And then what I do is I turn it around. I use my my stamp pad there. I use my ATG gun. I just love this ATG gun. I use it so much. Now, on the ends though, it doesn't cover the ends unless you have a smaller glue gun. You can get at those ends. So what I do is I use this Tombow liquid glue to get on the ends. Just so you don't want it opening up for you. Okay? And then let's put this down here. Let's see the way I want it. I think maybe right like this. That'll be okay. Alright. Just press that down. Okay. And our next thing that we want to do is we want to turn it over and we want to stamp our to and from stamp. And I used, this one is from Studio G, I believe. Let's see, did I say that right? Yep, Studio G. I think I got it at the dollar bin at Michael's. And this is, I'm going to stamp with Memento Tuxedo Black, and it's a dye ink. So it dries faster than pigment ink, and that's why I like it. Okay? Alright. Because if you're making a whole bunch of these, you want to do it as fast as you can, right? And dry it a little bit. And I just like to put my piece of Kleenex on there, just make sure it's dried. Yeah, one more time. Okay, that'll be good. So you don't want too much. This is a craft mat I'm using, so it works real well. Don't have to worry about the mess. Okay, now the other thing that we want to do, we want to prepare our Merry Christmas. Can you see that? Let me put it over here. There we go. Merry Christmas sentiment. Okay, so let me get that. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to emboss. And this is a clear stamp, okay? And I have a clear block, and with my Versamark stamp pad. What I like to do with this is, see, I'll get my paper. I'll show you when I emboss what I do, but right now I can just stamp it. Okay. Okay. And what I like to do is I like to take a piece of scrap paper when I put my embossing on it, so I know it's going to get all over the paper. So I just put it on there. This is from Recollections, and it's called Detail Embossing Powder. It's gold. It's really pretty. I really like it. Okay, and just give it a knot like that. And I'm going to dry this, and use my heat gun rather to emboss it. Okay, this is my heat gun. It's going to be pretty loud, so I'm going to put this on pause and I'll be right back. Okay, our sign is embossed, and I cut it out. It looks real pretty. It's going to go right in the middle of our tag. Okay, and so now we're going to paint the branches. And I'm going to be using watercolor for that. You can use anything you have in your craft room. Doesn't have to be watercolor. It can be markers, colored pencils, whatever you like. But I'm using burnt sienna, and I am going to be using burnt umber and some Payne's gray. Okay, I have those in my palette. Okay, there's my Payne's gray over there. I have some covered up. I'm actually working on another project, and I didn't want to get rid of those other colors, so I left them in there. But I covered them up so I don't dip my brush in there. Okay, so let's use our number 4 for the burnt sienna. Okay, I did spritz this with my water. It needs just a little bit of water. Get some kind of going. Got some on my tag there. There we go. Okay. And this is just to get the background of our branches. Okay, just go around. And you know, you don't have to be perfect with this, because you know, those branches, those Reeves that you buy, that's the look we're going to try to get. Okay, we don't want to be perfect with our painting, so we want it to look like the branches that are natural. Okay, and now we're going to get a little thinner with our brush. I'm using a number 2 for the burnt umber. The burnt umber is a little darker than the burnt sienna. I love these, both of these colors all the time. I use these a lot, especially when I'm working with woods, painting wood grains and such like that, animals. Just a couple colors I use quite a bit when I'm painting. Okay, and now I'm going to use a liner brush. This is my liner brush. You see how there's hairs coming out of there? I don't worry about that, because as soon as I get it wet, that goes away. I don't know why those hairs are there. Usually, and I'm going to use my Payne's gray. Usually when I have hairs on my, you know, that come out from under my brush like that, you know, I snip them. But this one seems to be okay. See how that all those hairs went away, and they're just all the same now. So now Payne's gray is a color that I used on my wheels when I painted my wagon. You could look that up on my artist blog if you like. On my website, www.naturesbestart.com. I have an artist blog, and I show my Let's Paint series. I don't know if you've seen that, but I talk about this Payne's gray. How, see, when you use it without a lot of water, it's black. There, see, we're making our branches. Okay. Alright, I like that a lot. Wanted to make it look like it was, our wreath was on a piece of wood there. Maybe a door. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to try to dry a little bit like that. And I'm going to put the bow on it right now. Let's see, where's our bow? These bows, You know, I made a bunch of bows. Let me show you them. I made them for my daughter's baby shower. And they're right here. Let's see. There you go. See, this is a container that my daughter Leah gave us on our 30th wedding anniversary, which was 4.5 years ago. So, and so I use it for these bows that I made, and I put them on pencils, or pens rather. I put them on blue pencils and red pencils. And I put them right on the side of their plate for the baby shower, because her colors were blue and navy blue and red. It was a book theme, and it was real pretty. And you can check that out too on my website, on my artist blog. Oh, let's see. That was the August 30th, 2017 post. And anyway, so. I wanted to show you that because I thought that was fun, and if you have time, look at that post. It's a fun post to look at. I show the things that I made for that baby shower. But anyway, so so they have these little knobby, these little circles on them because I put them, I made them for the pens. So what we're going to do, you can put this on with your hot glue gun. I'm going to opt to put it, I use these ZOTS, and they're permanent, so they're very, you don't have to worry about things coming off. And so let me show you how I do that. I'll stick it right on the ZOT, which is right here. Okay, and it comes off. And I'm actually going to put another one on because I just want to put another one on just because it's kind of a big bow. And I'm going to turn that over. There we go. And that's going to go, let's see, we're going to make room for our hole for our ribbon there. So I'll put it right here. Right there. Now, ordinarily, I would put these on the ribbons on later, but I'm going to put everything on there now while we're doing this. Okay, now where's my hole punch? I'm going to put my hole punch, and I use this hole punch. I really like it. It's a smaller hole punch, so I put 1, 2, 3, about 5 punches there, but it just looks a little nicer than a larger punch to me. I don't know. You use what you have though in your craft room. And then let's see, what else do we need? We need our ribbon for the top, and this is the ribbon I got. Let me show you this. Got this a long time ago. I've had it a long time. I don't know how you pronounce that. Offray, O-F-F-R-A-Y. It's the width is 1/4. And I like it, so I will put that on. Okay, I'm going to feed it through here. Oh, I didn't catch that other part. Let's see here. Put it more together. There we go. Oh, my birdie clock. I love that clock. I have one in the kitchen and one in my craft room. I love to listen to the birds. Okay, so there's my ribbon there. And let's put our, I like to call these sentiments. Or, they're signs or sentiments, whatever. And I like to raise that a little bit. Let me get my, let's see. I have these Scotch mounting squares right now. I use different kinds, but right now I have that and I like them, so we'll use those. Okay. That's me hitting the computer. Sometimes my picture goes off when I'm filming, and I don't know why, but I just make sure it's on so that I know that I can check once in a while, make sure I'm not on screen, not off screen. So, all right, we want to put that on. All right, and let's see. Now I'm going to be drawing some leaves that we're going to be painting. Okay, and they're holly leaves. They're really pretty. You can see these here, right here. I drew about 5. I want about 5 of them on there. So we're going to be doing that. Let's see if I put it like that and like that. You can see it, right? Let's see. Okay, there we go. All right. So what I do is I like to use the pencil, and I'll go 3 points. 1, 2, 3, top. 1, 2, 3, down. It's kind of like, it looks like a holly leaf, right? Okay, and I'm going to do that all around. 1, 2, 3, point. 1, 2, 3, down. Okay, now my other leaves that I'm going to do that all around. My other leaves are just going to be actually just leaves. You know, I just thought it needed a little bit greenery here and there. So, just going to be drawing that. Like so. Okay, so I'm going to pause, and I'm going to finish that, and I'll show you when I get done. Okay. Okay, our leaves are drawn. I made about 5 holly leaves. You probably can't see them too well, but you'll see them there. Maybe now you can see them a little bit. Drew them on, and then I drew my other leaves on. So now we're going to be painting them, and I'm going to be using my number 2 round, and then I'm going to be using Hooker's Green. It's made by Winsor Newton. Okay. I'm going to paint a few for you, and then I'm going to pause the video so that you don't have to watch me do the whole thing, but get an idea of how I do it. Okay. I don't like to put too much on because this is not watercolor paper. It's you know, just regular scrap paper. I don't even think it's cardstock. And then I like to do my holly leaves first. And then I go around and do my other leaves, because my other leaves there's more of them, so I don't want to get them messed up with my fingers, you know. So I will do that. Make sure you put the points on them, and I'll be pausing it. And when we come back, we will have painted all our leaves. Okay, our leaves are painted, and I think they look real pretty, but we're going to make them stand out a little bit like we did on this one. Okay, so let's do that. And we're going to use a gel pen. It's called a, let's see, they have the name on here, a Tek Writer Gel Pen. Okay, I always like to test them first. Okay, it's writing good. Alright, and this we're going to put on our holly leaf. I'm going to put the veins. Okay, so we want to put the veins on the parts where, see, when I went around, I followed my, you know, and I turned my wreath here so that these would be going down, and so you want to get those lines by the points is what I was going to say. See, and then you just follow it around. Makes it look really pretty, I think. Really stand out. Okay, now on our smaller leaves, I'm going to be using watercolor, and it's called Hansa Yellow Deep. And it's by M-Gram. Most of the paints we are using are from M-Gram. That's my favorite paints. And I'm going to stir this a minute. I want to see. Yeah, that's pretty thick. So I have toothpicks. Actually, when I put my paints in my palette, and I like to spritz them, and they need a lot of. I put them in this little bag here. If they need some stirring, I just wanted to show you the bag. Probably could have used the same toothpick, but anyway, I like to stir them up a little bit. I do this every time I put a new color in my palette. I use the toothpicks. Okay. And let's see. We're going to be using our smallest brush, which is a number 2 round. I love these brushes. They're Mimic by Creative Mark. I buy them on Jerry's Autorama online. Okay, let's see how that's going to look now. Okay, we're going to put them on our leaves. Just one line down the middle. A little too much water now, so yeah, this is a good thickness right here. Okay. And just follow all around your wreath. Put that line down. Okay. Put some more right here. And if you want to, you know, watercolor always turns lighter as it dries. Acrylic turns darker. Acrylic paint turns darker, but the watercolor turns lighter. So you can go in and do that again. Don't like the way this one went on, so I'm going to take that off. See if I can get that right down the middle. There, I like that better. Okay. And just for the video's sake, I'm going to just dry that a little bit, and then probably when I'm off camera, I'm going to go back and get these darker, because otherwise it won't dry. Okay, so that's done. And now we want to put our berries on. Okay, I'm going to be using Pyrrol Red, and that is also M-Gram. Okay, and let's see, let me get this cotton swab here. Okay, let me make sure that that's thick enough. Let me take one of my toothpicks again. And let me just make sure. Well, we can try it. It's pretty thin. I might have to add a little bit more Pyrrol Red to that, but we'll see. Okay, so you just stick that in there. And let's get some berries on. Yeah, that's a little, I'm going to have to add some more Pyrrol Red to that. It's a little too thin. Okay. Let's mix that in. It's not going to show up on our wreath. We want it to show up. And if I remember right, the last one I did, the last wreath I did this twice. One, no, that's showing up really good now. I like to put 3 together. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And I put it right by the holly leaf, right there. Okay, I'm going to twist this around. This is my other one right here. Am I on camera? I hope so. Sorry if I'm not. Okay, there we go. And see that little bit there that didn't get on? That's okay, because that looks like a highlight to me. So that's okay. I'm going to put that one right there. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to add one here. Just go around and add them where you want to add them. Okay, let me get this one a little darker. This a little darker. These a little darker. Ooh, that's really a lot darker. Okay. And then let's get my ribbon up. And usually I paint everything, was what I was saying at the beginning of the video. I paint everything and put the ribbons on later, but I knew that if I painted everything, I wouldn't be able to get this tag on or the ribbons because everything would be wet. So I wanted to make sure that I did that first. Doesn't that look pretty? Okay. There, I love that. Love it, love it. And this is what I used on another picture, a painting that I did. And I love that technique. Okay. All right, so that's our berries. And now what we want to do is we're going to be using some Stickles for our berries too. Now because we have gold in it, I like to harmonize things, and so I'm going to put some gold Stickles on the berries like we did this one. See there? Let's see. There you go. See the gold? And I even put some red Stickles on, so that's going to be real pretty too. So I'll show you how I start it, and then I'm gonna stop the video, or I'm gonna pause it actually, and you'll see it with the Stickles on it when we come back. Okay, so let's do this. What I do is I just kind of go around the edge a little bit and put it on there. Can you see that? Yeah. See, I like to do that. Just a little bit here and there around the edges. And then when I do all that with the gold, I'll go back. I'll show you what I do with the red. See, I always test these. You always have to shake them. Oh my. Let me see. There you are. I couldn't see you. Okay, so. And then I like to just maybe make a dot in here. Like that with these. Come on, get down there. It sticks up now, but it does go down as it dries. And I like to dry these overnight, but I mean you can you don't have to wait that long probably. But okay, so I'm gonna go around and do that with the berries, and I will be right back and you can see that. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, I put all the Stickles on our berries. I put the red and the gold. I really like that. I think it stands out. You don't have to put that if you don't have them. They are from Ranger. I like the ones from Ranger the best, and you know they're the glitter glue. Okay, and so now I want to show you what I did with the other one I made. I used this uni-ball Signo broad gel pen, and I just love this for a lot of projects that I do. For a long time I couldn't find it. I looked online, I went to the stores, finally found it a couple years ago at Michael's, So let's put some of these white little circles here. I just think it just adds to it, the sparkle. Okay, I'm going to go around and add 3 here and there, wherever I think needs it. Maybe just 1 here and there. Okay, I'm going to try to remember that this is wet, and my bow's going to look kind of funny because I've been picking it up out of the way. Like I said, I usually do this, you know, put the bow on last, but I wanted to make sure that you saw the finished wreath. Okay, and then on this side, see how that adds to just a little bit of sparkle. Let's see here, and I can hold it in the middle. Ooh, I'm kind of getting in the mood for Christmas looking at this. You know, I can picture this under my tree, hanging on a gift, this gift tag, and you know, if you have a fireplace, it'd be pretty by the fireplace, doesn't it? Now what I did is I added a little of the black with my liner brush again, but I don't like the way I put that there. That's okay. I just think that this one looks a little better when you put more black branches on it. Just seem to stand out a little bit more. But there you have it. We are finished. Oh my goodness. I just love this. I think it's so pretty. I think it would even make a pretty Christmas ornament perhaps for somebody. So let me show you the ones that I did already. See, I made another one. So I made 3 that look like this. And you're probably not going to be able to see all these at once. Well, let's put this here. Let me see. These together. There's my other one. There, like that. And so I have 3 like that. And then, see, let's see, a couple years ago, I wanted to do this. And so I started making these, and you know, I stopped actually because I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to wait until I get a YouTube channel and a video going. So I'd like to share this with everybody because I think, you know, having Christmas tags is always something you need, and it's just so much fun to share something like this with everybody. And this was my first one I made, but I thought it was fine, and I used this punch and I cut this out. This is on watercolor paper. You know, if you use the watercolor paper, the punch is too, it won't cut through so much. It probably depends on this. This is 140 pounds, so that was a little too thick. So I liked it. It was nice, but I thought, well, I wanted to make it look like it was on wood, so I thought, well, I'll make it gray. So I made this on watercolor. And I like this one too, but you know, and I made my lines with my credit card here, and then, you know, with my watercolor, and I thought the berries turned out really pretty. But to me, I picked it up the other day and I thought, okay, so this is the one I'll probably show you how to make. But it looked a little too dark to me, and I think this needed to be raised, the Merry Christmas. So then I came up with this idea, and I really like this a lot. So I made 3 of these. So we have 5 now to add, which makes 15. And so there you have it. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Tell all your crafty friends to watch the video, and so they'll have fun, enjoy this. And thank you for joining me today, and happy crafting and happy creating.